I've lost fat multiple times in my life, but for some reason, that last little bit of fat around my belly was always difficult to get rid of. That is, until I started eating this way. After I started eating this way, I was able to melt away my belly fat and keep it off. And I call this way of eating the anti-diet. So the reason I call it the anti-diet is because it's literally the opposite of everything that the mainstream fitness industry says you need to do for you to get lean. So the fitness industry tells us that we need to have a diet that is strict and that we need discipline to follow. Well, this diet isn't strict, it's fun, and you follow it through alignment, not obsession. Now, there's 3 principles that make this diet work. The first one is that it has to let you eat the foods that you like, and here's why. Here's the thing, I don't give a shit what diet you're following, keto, paleo, whatever. If it's not letting you eat the foods that you like, then it's not sustainable in the long run and you can't follow it. You're gonna follow it for a week or 2, lose a few pounds, and then quit because it's too difficult and too unreasonable. And guess what's gonna happen once you stop following the diet? Yeah, you'll gain the weight back. Also, contrary to popular belief, I'm not one of those like, you need to suffer in order for you to grow people. Like, I don't understand why everyone in the fitness industry is so stuck up about suffering. Bro, you had like a fucking plate of vegetables, you're not suffering. You'll never have a 6-pack if you don't suffer, grr. Like, bro, you don't need any of that for you to get lean. I eat ice cream almost every single night and I have a visible 6-pack every morning. The second principle that this diet has to follow is that it has to be adaptable to regular changes. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm using like fancy words, making it sound difficult to understand. Really, all I mean is that you can't have a stick up your ass about the foods that you're eating every day. Don't be one of those losers that's like, oh my god, it's 9 a.m. and I haven't had my avocado on toast because I ran out. I feel like my protein synthesis is decreasing. Bro, chill out. I honestly have like certain meals that I fall back on, but on a day-to-day basis, my diet is somewhat different. Especially me, I'll just be honest, I'm a brown guy and I'm lucky enough to have my mother who cooks delicious food for me every day. And that food is not the same every day. And believe it or not, I've got somewhat of a life outside the gym. So when I'm going out with my friends and eating, I can't tell them that, we're at Cane's, but this, Caniac combo doesn't align with my macros. Again, you see how all of this ties back into that principle of sustainability? If you're this like retarded, like that's all it is. If you're this retarded and autistic about what you need to eat on a daily basis, then you're not going to be able to follow this diet in the long term. The third principle that this diet has to have is that it has to be nutritious. So whenever I make a comment about how sustainable dieting needs to allow you to eat your favorite foods, I always get that one motherfucker in the comments that's always about, it's all about nutrition, reduce visceral fat, eat like non-processed foods. Bro, when have I ever said that you need to eat ice cream all day and then just slam protein shakes at night? The diet that I recommend to the people on this channel and even to the people inside of my minimalist fitness community is still one that is nutritious. It just so happens to be that it's also flexible and sustainable. Honestly, I could summarize this entire video in like 1 to 2 sentences, and what I want to say is, don't be a fucking idiot, and the second sentence would be, only follow a diet for a day if you can follow it for the rest of your life. That's all, man. I'm fucking sick of the fitness industry. I'll see you in the next one.